Hi everyone, how are you doing? Today channel Dan Sreyoun is going to present you about classroom dynamics. We are always interested in how well our students conduct themselves and how well they can work with each other. It is this expectation of the school which makes every teacher first learn how to maintain classroom discipline before talking about the students' academic needs. It is a fact that no teacher can effectively teach and make students learn in an ineffective environment. It is the teacher who makes the difference, not the classroom.
Hi everyone. How effective is our classroom management? Today's classrooms are filled with diverse learners with varying needs. Nowadays many new teachers and even some experienced ones find it extremely difficult to maintain discipline in their classrooms by following the traditional methods of teaching. Hence we must encourage teamwork, communication skills and use of technology to enhance students' learning. Hi everyone. Are we managing the classroom dynamics well? Teachers play various roles in a classroom, but the most important role is that of a classroom manager. If teachers have to perform well, they have to understand classroom dynamics. Classroom dynamics includes student behavior, emotions and imagination. It also includes teachers' ways of presenting academic materials and student interactions. It helps in creating a positive classroom culture. Effective teaching and learning cannot take place in a poorly managed classroom. Well-managed classrooms provide an environment in which teaching and learning can take place successfully, but it takes a lot of effort to create a well-managed classroom, and it doesn't just happen on its own. The person who is responsible for creating such a classroom is the teacher. Hi everyone. Teachers can have a major impact on student achievement. The three major roles of the teacher are 1. Choosing the right instructional methods, 2. Designing curriculum, 3. Using effective classroom management techniques. The most important characteristic of a good class is not how hard the students work, but how well they work in groups. This is classroom dynamics. It is about the way the people within a class interact with each other. It is how they talk and how they act. It is how they express their feelings and opinions that matters. If we have to become better teachers, we need to understand classroom dynamics. Classroom dynamics means building of a classroom community and the creation of an active classroom culture. I believe that classroom dynamics is helping students to develop skills in working together and creating an atmosphere in the classroom where students are encouraged to take risks. The easiest and most appropriate way of boosting classroom dynamics is to make sure that the students have no time to feel bored and instead they enjoy the classes. We can offer a balanced learning environment by adopting a few simple strategies and introducing them as part of our teaching routine.
Hi everyone, how can we improve them? There are many ways to classroom dynamics. 1. Group work. 2. Brainstorming. 3. Learning by doing. 4. Learning style. Self-learning. 5. Art, craft, and music. 6. Activity-centered. 7. Peer interaction. Hi everyone. Activity-centered. Classroom dynamics mean that students are kept busy with productive activities and projects and there is no time for boredom. It does not mean that the teacher must use more materials, but he must simply keep the students absorbed with activities. The more interesting and challenging these activities are, the more absorbing the lesson will be for the students. Hi everyone. Encourages self-learning. A vibrant classroom that offers different ways to cover a topic will always be more effective and appealing. If you introduce a range of teaching techniques such as experiential learning, digital learning or group work, it will make the students learn more. Such approaches will help to engage students and make learning more meaningful and interesting. Hi everyone. Independent learning style. The majority of student learning happens within the classroom. However, it's up to the teacher to manage and engage the learners by using various learning styles. Students learn best through interaction and inquiry. Some students learn by moving around, others by working in teams. A dynamic classroom enables the students to move around freely while being engaged in a creative project. All of them have special talents and interests which they should be able to explore and use during classes. Offering a dynamic environment will certainly help them to achieve this. Hi everyone. Brainstorming sessions. Students are generally very energetic, and the teacher must plan to keep them active, attentive and focused, otherwise they may start to lose concentration and at times become restless. Organizing brainstorming sessions to activate the students and offering them opportunities to express their views during group discussions will help to satisfy their needs. Keeping students absorbed means they will get busy, learn lessons easily and they will understand concepts which we are trying to teach them. Hi everyone. Learning by doing. Whatever may be the topic of the lesson, we must make sure that the students spend some time to learn by doing. They can work individually or in groups, and the exercises we give them can be of different types such as experiments, digital learning, worksheets, art and craft and field work. Hands-on learning is one of the best methods to absorb students in tasks they can explore on their own. Hi everyone. Peer interaction. Good examples are group activities where students need to move from one group to another to discuss or work on the said topic. Working area. Library work is another great way to make sure students do not sit at their tables all the time. Depending on the students' needs, we may create theme-based working tables and encourage them to set them up. To promote joy in learning, we may also introduce entertainment games and puzzles. Instead of teaching the students throughout the entire lesson, the teacher could provide some direction during part of the lesson, and then let the students be in control of their own learning and work with their peers. Hi everyone. Use of resources. Resources and use of art, craft and music will help to keep the students busy and excited. The resources should be useful, and they should not be too challenging for the students. Introducing dynamics in the classroom will not only help us to keep our students active, lively and motivated, but it will also facilitate the overall learning experience for the students and the effectiveness of teaching. Hi everyone. Group work. Cooperative learning in group work is another instructional method where students work together in pairs or groups to complete a task. Cooperative learning strategies can work in any classroom regardless of age groups, the subjects taught or the number of students in a class. By adopting different teaching techniques, we can expect excellent response from the students. They will develop good communication skills and will excel in their learning. It will further enhance their confidence level and help them develop skills of learning. As teachers, we must face challenges and overcome our fears of trying something new. Ultimately, we will be surprised to note how these strategies have helped our students. With each new class, the teacher must focus on classroom dynamics from the very first session, which will help in retaining the attention of students, and the students' academic achievement will also rise. Thus, in my view, the stress on classroom dynamics is essential for the learning and teaching process. As it has been rightly said, education keeps evolving and every student learns differently. It is up to the teachers to keep the students engaged in the classroom. Student learning groups. Homogeneous or heterogeneous. Whether to form groups with students of similar or mixed ability depends on the purpose of the learning activity. Okay, kids, we're going to be learning in groups today. Each group needs a math checker, a presenter, a writer-editor, and an illustrator. You decide who does what. You'll be reviewing the best ways to solve polynomial problems. Please pull out the instructions in the rubric for this assignment. As a group, your task is to create a one-page, step-by-step process that someone could follow to arrive at a solution. You have 15 minutes to complete this task according to the rubric that I have handed out. Ready, set, go. The teacher who gives these instructions then spends the next 15 minutes roving about the classroom, reviewing the progress of each group and asking probing questions to help the individual groups clarify their thinking. Grouping sounds so easy. What we don't see in the above example is how the teacher has organized students in the groups in order to achieve the best results. Some educators firmly believe that a teacher must mix the groups so that students of all levels are represented in each group, heterogeneous grouping of students, while others believe that a teacher must organize the students by ability levels, homogeneous grouping of students. Robert Marzano, Deborah Pickering, and Jane Pollock explain in Classroom Instruction That Works, First Edition, that there are advantages to both methods, depending on what the teacher wants to do. Hi everyone. Identifying purposes. If the purpose of the group learning activity is to help struggling students, the research shows that heterogeneous groups may help most. On the other hand, if the purpose is to encourage medium ability groups to learn at high levels, homogeneous grouping would be better. I learned this as a teacher when one of my gifted and talented students told me in confidence that she really hated being in heterogeneous groups. She said it differently, of course all the time, because by default, the other members of the group expected her to be the leader, organize things, and do all the work. This was a tipping point for me, because it made me realize that I wasn't grouping students for increased learning. I was using grouping mainly as a discipline management tool, and in actuality my attempt to increase student engagement had completely backfired. By always making sure that the smart students and the struggling students were equally divided in the groups, I was actually limiting the student participation to the de facto leaders of the groups.
Hi everyone. Deciding which is best. Because of this epiphany, I remember vowing that I would further differentiate my teaching by also seeking ways to give the upper-level students challenging and engaging learning activities. I promised to stop using the good kids in the hope that some of their goodness would rub off on the other students. An interesting thing happened when I grouped the students by ability. New leadership structures formed, and students who had never actively participated in groups before all of a sudden demonstrated skills and creativity that I never knew they had. Students are smart and can easily figure out what we're really doing. Students, in our classrooms, know when they are being grouped to mainly tutor and remediate less capable students, and, most of the time, they resent it. We can also tick them off when we form groups solely for discipline purposes by placing the calm, obedient students in each group to separate and calm down the unruly ones. My daughter Mercedes, who falls in both categories above, said that when teachers do this to her, she doesn't learn and it's not fun for her or the other students. Perhaps more often than not, students are savvy enough to play along when they recognize that the grouping is nothing more than a routine way to spend the time and has no real learning purpose at all. If given a choice, students prefer to learning in groups of their peers and friends, homogeneous groups, but they also appreciate getting to know and learn from other members of the classroom. This requires that we trust students to make good decisions and hold them accountable for following the norms of learning in groups. According to Marzano, Pickering and Pollock, effective learning in groups must have at least the following elements. The work must involve every member of the group. Each person has a valid job to perform with a known standard of completion. Each member is invested in completing the task or learning goal. Each member is accountable individually and collectively. Remember that the desks are not attached to the floor. We can mix things up in heterogeneous and homogeneous groups in interesting and creative ways. Eye color, left or right-handedness, preferred pizza toppings, number of siblings, music preferences, gender, nationality, hair length, shoelaces, genetic traits, learning styles, etc.
Thank you for watching my videos. Please subscribe, like and share to channel Dan Sreyoun in order to get more videos. Thank you.